Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to do my informative assignment for my speech class. The title of the title of my speech is "Spiders, Snakes, Bees, Oh My." Spiders, snakes, and bees are very important creatures on Earth. Sometimes we, as human beings, tend to take advantage of our earthly creatures for what they are really worth. Not to mention, we are subconsciously not thinking about the animals and their fears. Animals and insects oftentimes gain a bad reputation of their unfamiliar appearance and habits. Little do we know they fear us more than we fear them. They are really they're really all perfectly harmless creatures. Spiders are actually great weavers that spin webs to catch their prey. Every living being has to eat, of course. I read this art. I read this in an article. If you average out the actual weight of the bug juice consumed by spiders, that then multiply the number of square meters in the world where spiders live, you come up with an actual astonishing figure. Spiders of the world consume over 1,870,000,000 pounds of bug food per day. If we say that the average human weighs 150 pounds, then spiders eat the equivalent weight of over 12,400,000 people per day. Now imagine if went on a hunger strike for a week. All those bugs wouldn't get eaten really. Spiders and all arachnids can also breed very rapidly. And by the way, consider the face that the spider have natural silk webbing. They have natural silk webbing, so basically they can make their own web. They can make their own web, and they basically that's what we get the idea of silk webbing from. So our spiders can spin it, and they can use it for various reasons, such as like egg sacs, and they use it for escape lines to get away. And they also have a spinner called the orb spinner that are that's the one that actually helps them catch their bugs. Of course, like I said, they have to eat just like everyone else. So that for them as a spider is a positive feature of a spider actually trying to catch its food. It's kind of pretty easy for the spider. Remember that remember that you are in the wild. You are the visitor, and the snakes live in the wild. It is their home. In my opinion, all snakes, even the poisonous ones, have the right to be left alone in the wild. Like many other animals, snakes have two ways of detecting sounds, as earthborn and airborne. Most snakes can hear a person speaking in a normal tone of voice in a quiet room. Picking up vibrations from the ground is one of the ways the snakes actually find their prey and they also use it to avoid their enemies in time of danger. Snakes live in a world either they eat or be eaten. They take they take one look at us and think, I can eat this thing, but it's big enough to eat me. So as a result, of course, they are very much afraid of us as we are of them. Poisonous snakes actually they use their venom for basically hunting. They try not to waste their venom on something that they don't want to actually eat. So if they don't want to eat you, then they're not going to really use their venom, which is a positive thing because everyone thinks all snakes are basically out to hunt them, and which snakes are not actually out to hunt them. So they don't waste their time using their venom on anything that they don't want to eat. The last thing that I are honeybees. Honeybees are the insects that with the best public image. We see them as industrious workers, or what we call them worker bees, or sometimes they say busy as a bee. And we appreciate the main product, which is honey, setting the standard for all that is wonderful and sweet. Honey is the only possible. It's only possible because thousands of bees harvest from the nectar from the nectar of the flower for converting the sugary liquid to delicious honey. And not to mention, honeybees pollinate a vast variety of food crops. So while honey is actually a nice thing to use, the honeybee's real importance it lies in the pollinator, as the performance of the pollinator. The Africanized honeybee, on the other hand, or what we call them as killer bees, have been depicted in science fiction, in the science fiction movie. I'm quite sure everyone has seen the movies called The Swarm, The Savage Bees, and it was one that was on Fox called The Deadly Invasion, which was the killer bee nightmare. That's when all those bees start coming and attacking everyone, which would happen to be Africanized honeybees. Those were threatening. Those were threatening our lives, our property, and our whole way of life. There's no question that this bee, of course, is the most defensive and the most aggressive in defending its home and housekeeper and beekeepers, and also it also defends others who have gotten stung multiple times in accidents. Regardless of the myths about the Africanized honeybees, they actually do not fly out in angry swarms to randomly attack unlucky victims. Meaning, they don't actually go out looking to hunt people or hunt anything. They're basically most of the time minding their own business, and the next thing you know, someone irritates one, and you irritate one, the whole swarm will actually come at you. So it's kind of almost like a butterfly effect. You affect one, and then the rest of them are going to come along. So that way, it affect the whole swarm. But as you can see, spiders, snakes, and bees have a great influence in the world. While many people focus on the negativity of these animals and the insects, there are actually some positive things that are not shared about them. The world would actually truly be deprived if we did not have these creatures for the goodies they provide to our Mother Earth. Thank you for listening to me. Hope you enjoyed it.